Good morning, everybody. Again, just wanted to get on here and encourage you all real quick this morning. Primarily wanted to encourage you in the way, in the area of speech, the things that you say and the way that you say it. We live in a world right now where people, one-liners, zingers, the sarcastic statements and everything are everywhere. And we laugh about them and we joke about them. But, I think in many ways, we as Christians, becoming the kind of people that are just thrown in with all of that, we are actually creating within our church a culture of people that we're part of the disconnect problem. We say things and we do things that hurt people over time, and we excuse it as, well, that's just, personalities, or that's just, their personalities don't mesh. People, we need to get back to thinking about the fact that if I offend somebody with what I say or how I say it, then I need to go fix that situation, and I need to be careful about how I say and what I say. And we say, well, I'm just speaking truth. You may be speaking truth, and sometimes it's not the words, it is how you say it. When you come to attack somebody, you're going to hurt them. When you come with a spirit of love, they may get offended, but at least then you can understand. But sarcastic comments are not coming at people with a spirit of love. James 1:19, he says, everyone must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. And I think it's interesting that he puts it that way, because he makes sure and puts the emphasis first on hearing, that our job is to listen. When you think about how easy it would be for God to look at us and just constantly berate us, or constantly put us down, or constantly just beat on us and come at us with sarcasm about how we act and what we do. God could beat us on us every moment of every day for the rest of our lives. And he doesn't. And if the end goal is to become more like Christ, then shouldn't we be much more like God and actually listen first? Listen to what people have to say. Hear their hearts. I think about the book of Job. I'm reading through that right now again, and how Job went through the struggles he did with everything that happened. And God just kept letting him blow off steam. God just let him, God just listened to him. And when we think about God's interaction with most of the time, when we see God's interaction, he doesn't start off just immediately saying things. He comes to them first and he asks them questions. He asks people to talk to him. Even in the very beginning with Adam and Eve, when he went down and they had sinned and they went out, and the first thing he says, "Where are you?" And they said, "Well, we hid." And he doesn't look at them and say, "Well, I know you hid, and here's what you did, and here's what you did wrong." He doesn't do that. The first thing he does is say, "Why did you hide?" He wants to hear their heart. We see that again with Abraham. He listens. We see that with Moses. He listens. We see that throughout with David. We see it throughout with the prophets. We see it in the New Testament, that God is a God who hears, and we need to be a people who hear. We need to be quick to listen. We need to listen long before we ever, and while we're listening, while we're hearing, we need to not be trying to formulate what we're going to say next. In Colossians chapter 4, in verse 6, it says, "Let your speech always be with grace, as though seasoned with salt, so that you will know how you should respond to each person." And he's talking, in direct context, he's talking here about outsiders, people outside the faith. But the one thing that I see really interesting here that I think applies to all is that he says our speech is supposed to be with grace, and it's always supposed to be with grace. Always, at all times, because the only way we're going to know how we should respond to everybody else is if we respond correctly on a regular basis and we train ourselves. Again, it's a lot like when we talk about the horse and the bridle. We have to teach the horse how to react to the bit. We need to teach our mouth how to react. And if we teach it how to react correctly, because we do that on a consistent, constant basis, and we catch ourselves and we train ourselves to do that, then what we'll see is that it will become a natural extension of who we are. That every time when somebody comes to us, we will respond appropriately. My prayer this morning is that we will all go out today, as we come into contact with people, that we will watch what we say and how we say it, that we will be encouraging and we will be positive. We'll speak truth, but we'll speak truth with love and grace and mercy. God bless you. I'll be praying for you today, and look forward to hearing back from you all and sharing more of God's word together throughout the week. Thank you.